Good morning, Quadcopter 101, and welcome out to my desert test site. It's a beautiful Sunday out here. I had to go flying, so I'm out here flying. What I got for you today is the ZOHD Dart. What is the ZOHD Dart? Well, as you can see, it's a semi-flying wing, single flying surface here. If you look at it, I got some spare props here from something. Hold on. If you look at it, what we got here is a forward swept wing airplane. Why would they design something forward swept wing? Well, the idea is to reduce tip stall. With back swept wing, as you increase angle of attack, your wing tips can start to stall. This is countered by forward sweeping the wing. The stall would occur here, but the body prevents the stall. The vortices, if you will, going around the wing and causing the stall. So this is, again, you can get much greater angle of attack here without stalling. That's the idea. If you look at the design also, we only have these kind of control surfaces. Ailerons, elevator ailerons. We have vertical stabilizer here, but there is no rudder control on this. All control is through these two control surfaces here. So that's greatly simplifies control. It is designed and intended as an FPV flyer. Unfortunately, inside there, I guess you could put an FPV system inside there. Camera here and your FPV receiver back here, but it is still kind of tight there. So what I preferred to do, and what I did was I installed a simple all-in-one FPV camera here. This is a TX03 200 milliwatt FPV, and I am powering it by a simple CMX5C battery velcroed on the bottom of the top cover here. Let's take a look inside, and there are some things you should be aware of inside here. This is the PNP version of this. The PNP, the plug-and-play version, where you provide your own receiver, comes with a flight control system. Actually, it's a gyro stabilized system, a gyro stabilizer here, that's controlled through channel 5. The way it's set up is we got, for channels 1 through 4, 1, 2, 3 actually, only channels 1, 2, 3 are used. We have aileron, elevator, and throttle control. Okay, so that's the three main controls for this. On aileron is also powering my receiver here. I have a cheap FlySky R6B receiver in here for today's flight. And channel 4 is left blank. There's nothing in there. No rudder control, in other words. And channel 5 goes into this flight control stabilizer board, and that provides the input for the stabilizer. So I believe 0 is set for no stabilization. If you set it to positive values, it's fully stabilized, and negative values, I'm turning around here because my dog and wife are walking through the picture. Negative values is fully stabilized, and positive values on channel 5 are partially stabilized. So in full stabilization, when this is in full stabilization, it will prevent the aircraft from flipping over, either in this axis or this axis. It'll only go about 30 degrees or either way. In partial stabilization, you can flip it over, but it will be stabilized against wind gusts buffeting it about. In no stabilization, there's no stabilization at all. You know, you're fully manually controlling it. Now, for this particular aircraft, I would recommend flying in stabilized mode if you're an intermediate flyer or a beginner. Do not attempt to fly this unstabilized, because this design here is not really meant to be a stable aircraft. It's the way it is. It's very maneuverable, but with high maneuverability, you also get high instability here. So I would recommend considering, flying in stabilized mode, which I will probably be doing, and maybe I'll go into partial stabilized also. Again, there's not much room inside here for big batteries. I got a little 900 milliampere hour in here. It's XT60 connector. That's about it. One other thing I want to talk about is the way this airplane is designed. It's all held together by snap magnets. It goes together and comes apart very easily, folks. So, that's meant to reduce damage to it in a crash, and also to make it very portable if you want to take it with you anywhere. And let's see, I haven't talked about the ESCs. I believe it's just a 12 amp ESC inside this thing. So, you're not going to probably be wanting to put a 4S battery in here unless you upgrade that ESC. And the motor we got on here is an 1806 2000 kV motor up here. One thing I noted about it, though, is the way that this lock nut on top here is designed, it can loosen up so when the propeller's running. So I recommend that you tighten this thing up, tighten the lock nut all the way, make sure it's really tight before flying, otherwise you may lose a prop. So, especially on a high power up. I will be flying today's flight using my jumper. I got a FlySky receiver in there, and I will be using the jumper to power it, set to FlySky. So hope you enjoy this flight. Let's go for it, and hope you enjoy it. Hope it stays in one piece too. Okay, I got a slight breeze coming from that direction there. I'm gonna have to throw it this way. So hope you enjoy this flight. We're starting out in stabilized mode. Coming back to the throttle, and I'm coming back to my chair. Staying in stabilized mode, sitting myself down, and about to switch to, there we are. I am in FPV. So yeah, this is a little FPV flyer. Seems to be easy to fly FPV. It doesn't let you bank further, and so that far. That's full bank, full back pitch. Gotta increase throttle a bit here. I'm going to take it up higher, folks, because I want to try something. Increasing throttle, turning it around, trying to go up high, and switching to a 2. There, now I got full control over it. Kind of feels like flying a quadcopter. His stabilization system is on. Let's give it some throttle. Ah. Well, what do you know? It doesn't fly like, it doesn't feel like that. You can feel that stabilization. It keeps kicking in. I don't know if I want to go unstabilized, but we'll see. I'm unstabilized now. Going back to full stabilization. Yeah, I'm not ready to go unstabilized yet with this. But it's working well as an FPV flyer. Okay, we're going to stay full stabilized now. Coming around, just doing FPV with it. Let's do a slow pass bias. Reducing throttle, reducing throttle, reducing throttle. I got a wind today, that's why I was bobbing around there when I turned off the stab. But it's doing well fighting the wind. Coming around, climbing, climbing, climbing. I hope it's showing up on the video. I'm going to try to, I got to do more slow bypasses overhead and away from the sun. I'm sorry, hon, I know it's going into the sun right there. It's okay. I'm going to go downwind, down this way. But it's working. Working surprisingly well. So this is the Dart. This is more for short range FPV like this. It's a small little airplane. Its stabilization works. It bobs it around a bit. I'm using both rudder and aileron this time. The rudder doesn't do nothing on this. I should know better. So you're flying this more or less like it's a 3-channel aircraft, where all the elevator control and all the turn control is on the right stick, in effect. So, and it does feel like somewhat like I'm flying my F959 glider. Okay, coming around. So, neat little airplane. The Dart from ZOHD. I just flew a ZOHD Dino Talon the other day, and that was pretty neat too. I like that. I got a ZOHD Orbit coming in also for review. That should be interesting. This is the third flight I've done with the Nano Talon though. I was really scenic areas. I was over at Trona Pinnacles. I was flying this in Owens Lake. And in both of those cases, my DVR didn't record. So I'm hoping this time to get the recording from the DVR. But we'll see if I get DVR recording this time. Well, I think you folks are probably getting bored right now. So I just wanted to show it to you. This is the ZOHD Dart. I'm going to do one more pass by and I'm going to set up for a landing. Coming around, coming around. Let's see if I can come down low and fast. There it goes by. I'm going to fly it around like a quadcopter. I better go up higher. I could stall this. Even though it doesn't get tip stall, you can still, I think maybe it won't stall. Hold on, let's see if I can. Give me the throttle and then pulling back on the stick. And that's all it does, folks. It doesn't stall. In stabilization mode, that is. Okay, I'm going to set her up for a landing here. Which way is the wind blowing? Coming around, coming around, coming around. I'm going to fly overhead and then come down that way. I just passed to set up for a landing. Yeah, that's the right way because the wind's coming from that direction. I can feel it on my right side. Turning, turning, turning. Cutting throttle. Cutting throttle. Coming in for a landing here. Oh, I'm going to overshoot. Let's go do that again. We'll go up a little bit further up the road. Try to set up for that landing again. Whoa, I'm pretty far out. By the way, the FP video transmitter that I got on here is a little TX03, 200 milliwatt. Very nice signal coming from it, ain't it? That's a good camera. I like the TX03. And there we go. Well, that was kind of close. That's about the best we can do for the landing with that thing. Hold on, folks. Before I do anything else.
Is this on?
Yeah, it's still recording. Hold on. I got to turn this off. Make sure I got that recording. Camera, DVR. And did I get it? Yeah. 7 minutes. I got it.
How about this?
Yeah, that one's, make sure that one's recording too. That one's recording too. So today I did get those videos. Hey, I'll probably include at the end here, stick around, I'll include the other two flights that I did with this. They were pretty cool too. So, and also notice the way I had this transmitter attached, just with a little piece of sticky tape there. Double-sided sticky tape holds that TX03 transmitter on there very well. And it comes off in a crash, it's supposed to, so you don't break it. Let me unplug this and I'll give you my final thoughts. I'm unplugging the transmitter first, or the video transmitter first, and unplugging the battery next. Give you my thoughts. Video transmitter coming off. Wow. Oh no, it was easy to fly in stabilized mode. Got tricky there in full mode, and again I got a little bit of a wind here today. I put it in partial stabilization and it was just a little too sluggish to be doing extreme, like I tried to do a simple loop there and it was just a little too sluggish there in stabilized mode. You probably want to go in full unstabilized mode if you want to do tricks on this and rolls and flips. But overall this should be a good short to medium range FPV flyer. I wouldn't go very far with it because you don't have a lot of room in here for bigger batteries. So, keep it in close. So, close in FPV flyer, yeah, it's great. So, hope you enjoyed this flight. This is the ZOHD Dart, Quadcopter 101, signing out. And stick around. I'll try to include some videos at the end of this. Let's give it another try and see if it works. So, hope you enjoy the second part of the flight. Okay, wind's coming that way. Still have to give it lots and lots of upward pull. I don't know what's up with that, folks, but I'm kind of I'm not really going to go switch to FPV, although I'm going to be recording FPV. I'm going to be flying this line of sight. Going down. Look at that. Cutting back on the throttle.
It does not go up.
I'm not sure what's causing that, folks, to tell you the truth. Just does not want to climb. Coming around again.
Oops.
And I'm going to call it quits there, folks. So, notice where I am today. This is Owens Lake. This once was a huge lake underwater. This was all farmland at one time and cattle land until the city of Los Angeles got thirsty for water and actually drained this this lake dry. It's nothing but, it's a dry lake nowadays, but once it was a very deep lake. So oh well, that's progress. Okay folks, we're ready to go here. I'm gonna give it some throttle and hope for the best here. Hope you enjoy the flight. And switching to FPV. Coming back, coming back. Actually, I'm just sticking visual because I'm not familiar with this area where I'm flying. But I am recording it. But again, I'm in full stabilized mode. So, again, this is fully stabilized. I can select partial if I want. I am not going to because the way this is mainly intended, went up a little higher there, for it's somewhat of an unstable airplane. I'm going to try to fly it stable now as much as I can. Bringing it overhead. Going up a little higher. And then I'm going to go turn to the left. Pretty area to fly though, huh? Owens Lake. Again, this once was a huge area. A huge lake, totally dry now. It's on the way to Death Valley. That's where we're going next, but I can't fly in Death Valley. You can't fly at national parks, for those of you in the know. I'm just going to fly it around here a few times to show how it flies. Dart. Again, it has full stabilization, partial stabilization, which just stabilizes for wind gusts. I'm flying fully stabilized, or no stabilization at all. For those of you that are expert flyers. I'm going to come down a little lower now and do some low passes by us. Reducing throttle. Increasing throttle a bit. Yeah, I got to give it about halfway throttle to get it in the air. There it is, going by us. So the wind's blowing from that direction. I'm going to be lining it up for landing here. Just a quick flight to show it to you. I have a little more throttle. I don't know where I'm going to land it here. It's going to be interesting, but I'm going to lower the throttle now. It doesn't glide very well. It doesn't seem to glide very well. And when you reduce the throttle, that's okay. It's supposed to do that. Okay. My wife was shocked when she saw that when I hit that scrub brush there, but it's meant to do that. And again, I don't really have a place to land this around here today. But yeah, this is meant to do that, folks. Let me show you that. It's held together by magnets. See, that's why this thing is, and see the control surfaces are working again. It is held together strictly by magnets and that spar there. So, you know, it goes right back together again. Easily comes apart and easily goes back together. I'm trying to show that to you. Good as new. Very tough airplane. So that's the ZOHD Dart.